France 24's regular countdown to the presidential election. Our French politics editor Mark Prellman is here with me in the newsroom for all the latest on the electoral campaign. Firstly, Forbes has just announced that there are more billionaires in the world than ever. A record 1,226 people have an average net worth of $3.7 billion. Well, politicians from all stripes have cottoned on to the fact that voters find this outrageous, especially at a time of economic hardship and belt-tightening, Mark.
Absolutely, especially in the country of égalité, when these different types of earnings are really annoying people. And we see one very strange thing is that politicians from all walks of life, from the far left and the left, of course, but also from the far right and the right, are saying this is not possible anymore. We have to change this. And so none other than Nicolas Sarkozy has been using this argument. 5 months ago, he declared that there should be an exceptional tax paid by companies earning a lot of money. Then he declared war on golden parachutes and outrageous pension schemes from top executives. And yesterday night on TV, he came out with yet another proposal, not the one you see from a free marketeer.
We're going to create a minimum for large companies paying tax. Companies that are among the CAC 40, because I discovered something that's not normal. These companies have great tax advantages, and some of these companies don't pay tax on their profits at all.
So this comes just a couple of days after the socialist candidate François Hollande came up with another surprise proposal. It's not in his program, and it surprised many within his own camp, to tax the so-called super rich with a 75% rate.
I've been thinking about it, and so I announce here that earnings of over €1 million a month should be taxed at 75%. Because it's not possible to have incomes of that level. Just a quick correction, I meant €1 million per year. It's patriotism to accept paying an extra tax that will help the country to get back on its feet. And I think it's a good example that it's the high earners who do it.
So the right wing cashed in on that one, saying that Karl Marx essentially is coming to France.
Yes, we've heard arguments saying this is terrible, this is the USSR coming back to France. However, they calmed down very quickly. Why? Because the polls show that a majority of the French are in agreement with François Hollande that he actually scored a political coup by giving this proposal out of the blue, because people do agree that the super rich need to make an extra effort to help in those dire economic times. And really, the one candidate driving the agenda on this is not so much François Hollande, but on his left, the leader of the leftist front, as it's known, which is a coalition comprising the Communist Party, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who's been saying for months that the real argument is not to produce more wealth, but to share it.
Unlike for the person who was here before me, Marine Le Pen, the number one question for me isn't immigration, it isn't insecurity. The number one priority for our society is the sharing of wealth. It's absurd that wealth continues to accumulate for one part of society while others have less and less.
Jean-Luc Mélenchon is having more and more success. For the first time in a poll published today, he crossed the 10% voting intention threshold, and he believes it's not his ceiling, but it will be a springboard for more popularity. Clearly, he's been probably the best campaigner among all the candidates.
One of the other big issues, of course, is immigration. And we had Sarkozy last night almost sounding like Marine Le Pen.
Yes, absolutely. Nicolas Sarkozy came up with a proposal of his own, but he was coming after Marine Le Pen clearly said that not only illegal, but legal immigration was no more welcome in France.
Immigrants arrive each year. That's just not manageable on a financial and a budgetary level. We just don't have enough jobs to provide for them. As a candidate for the presidential elections, I'm here to defend my people.
So Nicolas Sarkozy appears to be veering to the far right. As we said on Tuesday evening, he said that there were too many foreigners in France and that number should be halved. A move bound to appeal to anti-immigrant National Front voters.
Nicolas Sarkozy went on French television on Tuesday evening to answer questions about why his campaign for re-election is veering to the right, highlighting such issues as immigration, more usually associated with Marine Le Pen's far-right National Front.
If Marine Le Pen says she prefers sun to rain, then I share her opinion. What are people telling me? They're saying, you want us to tighten our belts, but if we don't get a hold on immigration, then we'll go broke. Isn't our social security system going to collapse? It's crazy to say that as a question only for the far right.
Sarkozy said on Tuesday that there are too many immigrants in France. He criticised attempts to integrate foreign arrivals into French society and defended a re-election pledge to beef up residency qualifications for newcomers and so cut their numbers dramatically.
Over the next 5-year term, I believe we must divide the number of people we welcome in two to get the process of integration on the right track, to go from 180,000 a year to 100,000 a year.
Sarkozy's hardening of position on immigration comes as his rival, the socialist François Hollande, is ahead in every survey of voting intentions. It's believed the immigration issue will be a central part of his campaigning this weekend.
It's time now for our Campaign Chronicles report. She's a far-left candidate who mixes revolutionary rhetoric with media magic. Nathalie Arthaud, the head of the Lutte Ouvrière, the Workers' Struggle Party, has handed in the 500 signatures required by law to qualify for the election.
For Nathalie Arthaud, this is a symbolic moment. She's a revolutionary Trotskyist and she's here to knock on the door of one of France's most powerful institutions, the Supreme Court. In her hands, the backing of local dignitaries vital to any campaign. In all, she and her party, Workers' Struggle, have gathered 521 of the precious signatures.
They don't necessarily share my ideas, but this democratic gesture, they allow me and they allow the workers' struggle to take part in this election. Yes, it is a relief, because it's never easy.
This is Nathalie Arthaud's first presidential campaign. She's taken time off from her job as an economics teacher to meet with workers facing layoffs across France.
Keeping these jobs is a drop in the ocean. You have to force the businesses. I think we have to aim to ban it. We have to try to make redundancies illegal.
Workers' Struggle has never believed change will be wrought through government. Rather, they want a popular uprising, even if that means taking part in the elections.
All those who believe that this society of exploitation needs to be overturned and that there's nothing worth keeping from the capitalist system, they have to show it. Even in the elections, we can raise the flag of social revolution.
Workers' Struggle is proudly independent, rarely making alliances with bigger parties. Indeed, they say the socialists are no better than the conservatives. And while this rally in Nantes in western France is a success, Arthaud's poll figures are still stuck at under 1%.
Well, that's all we've got time for this edition of Campaign Chronicles. Do check out our Facebook account. The address is there on your screen. And let us know what you think. See you tomorrow for more from Campaign Chronicles.
Live from our studio, a debate on the subject of the day with experts, newsmakers and observers. For political or economical issues and questioning society, join us for analysis and in-depth talk. The Debate, Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. Paris time on France 24.